What's up, guys? I know I usually don't put out a video this quick, but I did get some more stuff done, and I also wanted to give a big shout out to Wilmer of Indian Head Valley Railroad. He has a series called Not Bad This Week, in which he talks about other model railroaders' YouTube channels that he visited and liked. And I was in his video this week, and I didn't realize it at first, but when I saw my subscriber count shoot up, and I read the comments saying, "Hey, found your channel through Wilmer," I watched his video, and I'll put a link and description of his channel in my description of this video, so you'll have to check him out. And I wing this off the top of my head. I don't have a script or anything because I prefer to do it with the first thing that comes to mind. So that's why I kind of stumble on my words at times, and hopefully I said Wilmer's channel correctly. So I'm hoping I said that right, but if you're seeing this video, then I did, because I review my videos before I upload them. So I want to start with this bridge. This bridge was supposed to be there. Well, it's gonna be there. So that'll be when you're coming up the start of Horseshoe Curve. Remember, there will be a scenic divider here. So I'll be coming up Horseshoe Curve, and then that's obviously going to be Horseshoe Curve. I'm going to redo that. That's not exactly how big it's going to be. I'm going to make it a little wider so I can bring it in on each side like it is in real life. But there was a bridge, and I don't remember if it was Red Bridge in Altoona, but there's a car bridge that goes over the yard that was kind of like this. And whether I do the, what's it called, the overpass, highway overpass, might be. I'm going to do some kind of bridge over this end of the yard like this, even though the bridge that I remember going over was actually on the Tyrone side of the Altoona yard, which is down there, because you go around to Tyrone. But either way, I'm going to put a bridge here. I also got more ground throws from Model Train stuff, Caboose Industries ground throws, which I needed more of. I got more track, which I'm barely gonna get to Horseshoe Curve with, maybe the apex of the curve. So I'm gonna need even more track. There's something else I wanted to show you. Oh, that's right. I've been having problems with right-handed switches. Atlas Code 83 number 4 turnouts. You can see I shimmed it up. And what happens is, at this joint, I don't remember if, I think it doesn't matter if it's straight or turned for the turnout part of it. That joint does not line up. I don't think you can see it on this camera at all, since this is just my phone. It doesn't have a great camera. But the joint does not line up correctly, so when the flange of the wheel hits it, it pops it out of the track and it derails. These are left-handed switches. I've never had issues with them. And since I have so many lefties, there's only a couple places on the layout that have righties, so it took me a long while before I figured out, oh, it's just the right-handed switches that have that problem. Well, I have a solution to that. Up here, I just took a little grindstone. Here, we took a grindstone and just grinded that little the little joint where it sticks out. We grinded it down, and now the engine seemed fine, and the freight cars seem fine when they go over it. I am not going to have to do that here, because I'm just going to put a left-handed switch so that it's even with these. That's left-handed. That's left-handed. This is right-handed. I think it would look a lot better with a left-handed switch anyway, so that solves that problem. And I'll probably bring it down a little bit too, because it'll be aimed this way. I'll be able to bring it down a bit. So that'll lengthen these by an inch or two. This I'm going to bring down more too. I don't know why I didn't to begin with. And where I put the little expansion pieces, they're not going to be here. They'll be in the middle of the yard, because they're only going to be an inch or two. So there's going to be, 2 rail joiners on each side. And that'll look kind of ugly here. But if I put it in the middle of the yard, you're not going to really notice it. And half the time there's going to be cars covering it up anyways. So I'll be able to get away with that. Here, this is going to be the upper level, so when you go up Horseshoe Curve, you'll come around the corner and you'll go up along the wall elevated obviously 8 inches. This is 10 inches, and I decided to do it this way because originally I was going to have a rock wall here and then like a cliff here, so you weren't going to be able to see underneath. But now I feel like this works a lot better because it does 3 things for me. For starters, if I had this closed so you can't see underneath, I have the tunnel portals here, so when you come down from Pitcairn, usually you have the stuff that the cars you drop off in Altoona are going to be at the front of the train, so they're going to be right here. So you're going to have to go in to the tunnel to hit this switch to go to the yard. I don't want to have to use a tunnel to do switching. So this way, the tunnel portals are going to be there behind that crossover. So you'll have a good 12 feet to do to get past the switch to do switching. Another issue is the crossover. That is for the reversing loop, because since it's double tracked mainline, when it comes back, when I have the crossover, I have to have that crossover long enough to hold each engine, because it's not like a single track loop back where you only need like an auto reverser, because the whole loop, you can switch the power. I have this to switch the power because of the crossover. Because of the fact it's double tracked, the way the reverse loop works is I need that crossover that long. So I really don't want to spend 43 bucks on an auto reverser, which is what I'd have to do if I had this closed, and I'd have to have a camera in there. So opening this up allows me to just sit back here and watch and make sure once the engines are on the crossover to flip the switch, and then when they come back, flip it this way. So left means you're coming from the left, or means you can go to the left. Right means you can go to the right. So once they're on the switch, you just flip it. Also, this allows me to make Altoona Village. I can now have a little hill, probably like an inch or 2 in height, and houses like this, all back there. And if you look, it looks fine. I mean, here's the upper level, and if this was properly sized, the upper level might be, way up here, like 2 feet, 2.5 feet. But to me, this looks fine. I'll just have a 1-inch piece of fascia board along the front for crescent, and I think that should work pretty well. And hopefully the glare doesn't make it too hard to see, but I have this scenery background of what looks like Altoona area hills and Tyrone hills, so with houses. So I'll put that back there to block from there to about there, so that you can't see the curve turnout for the staging yard, because that's one I want kind of hidden, just because you don't really need to see that you're going to staging. Like it'll be a powered switch, obviously, so you'll know, if it's turned this way, you can go to the staging yard. If it's turned this way, you're going around the loop. So that'll help make it look even more scenic. And I might have four reasons that I'm opening this up. Because also, and I just lost my thought. What was it? Oh, right. That's 12 feet of tunnel I lose. That's 12 less feet I have to be in the tunnel. And if you notice, it's going to be in a tunnel when you're going to Tyrone from there along inside the pit around to about there. So that eliminates a lot of tunnel. And that's all I really have right now. I am going to start working on horseshoe curve later this week. I'm going to fix this end of the yard probably in the next day. It should not take me very long. And hopefully I'll have videos of the trains up and running, because they are up and running. I can run them. I have been running them. I've been doing operating sessions using my yard board, which is a good way for me to, it's just easier for me to do all my switching and figure out which cars go where using that board. But until the next video, I hope you guys like this one, and don't forget to check out Wilmer's channel.